Welcome to the Excelsior Health Podcast. This is the podcast for busy professionals and busy parents who are battling weight gain, high stress, and a drop of self-confidence. And what we do, guys, is we help you learn what are the key strategies and tactics so that way you can prioritize in your busy lifestyle how to do strength training, how to incorporate healthy habits, but also how to build a positive environment so you can transform your health. I'm your host, Coach Cory Fernandez. I'm the owner of Training for Warrior Saga. And guys, I have a question for you. Do you understand the difference between a trainer and a coach? So today I'm going to talk about that. What might you want to invest in? Do you want a trainer who's going to train you? Or would you rather a coach who's going to actually change you? So I want to talk about the differences that I think a lot of people don't understand when they're working with someone. Because in my opinion, a coach is what you want. A coach is someone who's going to be almost just as enthusiastic about your goals as you are for yourself. Or a trainer, what they care about is the transaction of here's the workout. I'll see you next time. Right? They're not really there to see you get from point A to point B, which is getting results. And maybe I'll start with a little story. I was just recently on vacation. I was in Aruba, hence I got a nice little tan going on right now. But I was at an awesome gym. So this gym, I think it's called Raw Fitness. So it's a normal, conventional gym, but very cool. It was a great place to work out, great environment. And there was lots of fit people walking around and training. So it wasn't your typical gym where you see the busy professional, maybe the busy parent who's not comfortable working out. Like I feel like most people would be intimidated to go to this environment. But I was there working out, me and Coach Susie doing our thing. And then I'm looking at this older gentleman. He might have been in his 50s. I don't know if he was in his late 40s, but he looked great. He was jacked. He had a great physique. And I'm watching him one day train these other women. And these women were in fantastic shape. And all he was doing was showing them the exercises. And you could tell that these women knew what they were doing, but he was just guiding them and they were going through the workout. Simple. I didn't think anything of it. I just admired his physique and I admired the other girl's physique. I was like, man, they're in great shape. The next day, when I came in, I was working out at the same time, I saw him more coaching. And it just seemed like maybe it was a different client, which I understand sometimes, but it seemed like the energy was completely different. So he was on his phone, the girl's working out, and he's literally scrolling on the phone, pointing to the next exercise and just sitting down watching her. And I just was watching, during the rest of my workout, and I just couldn't believe that somebody would pay for someone to sit down and just watch and just kind of tell them what to do. Especially when we live in a world where, hey, you can go get any workout on YouTube. You can get any workouts, Chat GPT, you could type it in and it can give you a full out program. What most people are looking for when they're investing in a coach to take them through the session is they're looking for an experience. They want someone to instill energy and enthusiasm. They want someone to watch their form. They want someone to conversate with, to make them better, not just here, do this exercise. So today, that's kind of what my inspiration about this podcast episode is, I guess, making you aware as a busy professional and parent is if you are going to hire someone, just understand the differences that when you maybe are paying less, or even sometimes when you're paying more, it's like, are you getting a great coach who they're committed to wanting to change you? Or are you getting just a trainer who's just transactional, giving you the workout and out the door? All right, so let me go over a couple key concepts that I wrote down here. So this is one quote from my mentor, Rooney, who, I consider him like the coaches of coaches when it comes to, especially in the fitness industry. One course, if you're anybody who's looking to level up your coaching and your leadership, this is a mandatory for our coaches here when they do their internship and they do their training. It's Coaching Greatness by Rooney. So when I took this course, I took it online. It just really opened up my eyes on the difference of being a trainer and being a coach. And one quote that has always stand out to me by Rooney is, anyone can make you tired, not anybody can make you better. So trainers, they love to make people tired. So what this means is, how I can make you tired is when you show up to a session with me is making you just sweat, making you do something hard, making you sore. So for example, if I want to make you tired, yeah, like, hey, let's just go run around the block. Let's go. Come on, let's go. If I want to make it hard, hey, we're going to add burpees in during your rest when you're doing squats. And at the end of the day, it's like, why? A lot of trainers, what it is they are almost scared to let their clients rest because they're worried that the client is going to think, well, why do I need you? This workout's not hard. What they don't understand is if they push their client the right way at the right intensity, they're going to want the rest. They're going to want that 2 minutes or that 3-minute rest. And that's also going to produce the results. So what I've noticed over time, even in my own journey, is you feel uncomfortable with the rest. So you make people just do certain things. And, another thing that trainers do is they'll focus on soreness. It's like, man, I got to make sure this person's doing, lots of squats and lots of reps so that they feel sore. That's a clear difference between a good coach. A very good coach is confident that, no, hey, we're going to do this one exercise, but we're going to do it with amazing, masterful form. And yeah, you are going to rest. And they can explain that to you. So let me go over some more details on the differences, right? So number one that I want you guys to realize when you're deciding who can be your coach or how to avoid maybe transactional trainers is, does the coach walk the walk? All right. So what I mean by this is, does this coach look the way that you would like to look? Do they reflect some of the results that you want to have? Right. So that's, I think, probably like the biggest no-no in the fitness industry is, how could someone be a coach if they're themselves is not healthy, if they're not fit, if they don't do what you want to do? If someone's showing you how to do a chin-up, but they can't do a chin-up, does that make sense? No, it doesn't. So I think when you're deciding on a coach, you should look at your coach and say, you know what, man, I admire their physique. I admire how they train. I admire their performance. Whether, man, I love that they're sprinting and they're explosive. I love that they're strong. I love that they know how to use their body weights. So those are key things that you should decide. You should not accept working with a coach who's just unhealthy and not fit. Because how can they get you to be healthy and fit and to implement some of these habits that we talk about on the podcast if they themselves don't have the ability to execute it? Right? So that's number one, guys. Make sure your coach is representing the results that you want to achieve. All right. Number two, is the transformation coach you're working with, do they have a history of getting results for people like you? Okay, so I'll give you an example. Is maybe someone specializes in coaching bodybuilders. And that's an amazing skill to have. But if you are, let's just say, over 40, it's been a decade since you've ever worked out before, maybe that person is not going to be the right coach for you because they don't maybe understand some of the challenges that you go through. They don't understand your lifestyle. They don't understand your lack of fitness and what you can't do. So they have a hard time scaling and modifying your workouts. They have a hard time coaching you to implement the nutrition habits because maybe for them, the people that they work with, like, again, a lot of bodybuilders, man, they're already self-motivated. It's like, hey, I need to eat this broccoli and chicken because I'm going to be on stage. Or the busy professional is like, nah, man, like, I'm not going to be on stage. I want to move around for my kids. I want to be a little bit more confident when I go on vacation. It's a different person. So I think that's a key thing. And a way that you can do that is definitely check, someone's social media. And is their social media only pictures of themselves and no site that has any of their clients. Because yes, it's very important. Like I said, the first one is, do they look the part? Do they look good? Do they show that they work out? Do they show that they live a healthy lifestyle? But as a coach, they have to have lots of examples of people that they've already helped. And maybe that's a subtle nuance that I know sometimes great coaches, they had decades of producing transformational results for themselves, but maybe later on in life, they're not as optimally fit as they once were. I think if they have a large resume of people that they helped and they still help, that gives a little leeway, that I would say, for them to still be justified to be a transformational coach. All right. So those are first 2 points of the difference between a transactional trainer and a transformation coach. So the next one I have, guys, energy and enthusiasm. So back to like the story I was saying is, that guy, he knows his stuff, man. There's no way he looked that fit, but it's him knowing his stuff and transferring the energy into you knowing that stuff, and more importantly, doing that stuff, is two different skill sets. And one of the ways to drive people to take action is you have to transfer energy into them. If the energy you have is tired, it's negative, you don't want to be there, that's not going to make anybody want to train and chase discomfort and push themselves and get in this uncomfortable zone. It's not going to happen. So I think number 3, what a transformation coach does is, when you get in their environment, they instill energy in you and enthusiasm for the session. So a simple thing that we do at Training for Warrior Saga is, hey, when we see our students, it's a transfer of energy. It's a high five. Oftentimes, man, it's a hug. It's a fist bump. But that doesn't just happen during the meeting that we greet each other. It happens throughout the workout, right? It's the tonality that we use in the session. We're not talking in, just conversational sound. No, we're like, as a coach, I'm getting excited when they get to below 90 degrees in their squat. So I'm raising my tonality. I'm making a big deal when I see that they've progressed from the weights that they did last week, right? I'm letting them know with my expression that, yeah, you know what? I think you can do a little bit better there. I think we can clean up that form. This is what I mean on transfer of energy and enthusiasm. They make you feel excited to be in that 45-minute or that hour training session, all right? So that's number 3. Number 4 is, I definitely think this is important, is, does the coach have knowledge? And can they explain why you're doing what you're doing? So if you ever go to your coach and you say, why am I doing this? And they basically tell you, don't worry about it. Just do what I'm telling you to do. To me, that's not the sign of a great coach, because a lot of the quality of our questions will determine a lot of the results we get in our life. So I love when my students come up to me with questions, because that means they're curious. They want to learn. They don't want to just be told to do something and not understand why. So it opens up the door for myself to make sure I understand what I'm teaching, is being able to communicate it in a simple way that now somebody else understands it. And if they understand it, it's going to strengthen their execution. So for example, if I can explain to them, hey, this is why protein's so beneficial. There's a thermic effect of it. This is why you should consume 120 grams of protein per day, because it's going to make you more full. Now, when they look at their plan and they see that, it's going to reinforce that action that they should do it. Versus, hey, just trust me. Do you want to get results or not? Just go do it. Don't ask those questions. Right? So having the ability to have these conversations with your coach, I think, goes a long way. Another thing that happens, I think, a lot of the time is people will see stuff on social media because there's so much information out there, and they'll be confused, and then they'll bring these questions to their coach. And now a trainer might say, don't listen to that guy. He's silly. Like, avoid that. But I think a good coach is going to be open to even sometimes learning. So there's things that our clients will bring to us, and I'll say, yeah, you know what? I'm not sure about that. But you know what? Let me do some research and let me get back to you. And after doing some research and investigation, maybe talking to my other peers, I'll be like, yeah, man, that was actually a really good point that that guy said. Or it's, hey, I personally wouldn't do that based off of what we do here, but that might work for someone else, right? So having a coach who can articulate the reason why, articulate how to do something is really, really important versus someone just telling you what to do and not being able to explain. If you find that your coach is maybe stumbling all the time and they can't give you an answer, maybe they don't really know why they're doing it or why they're prescribing it. They're just following what someone else has said. All right. Now, next thing, this is a couple big things I think a great coach does is they challenge you. They challenge your standards, right? So I think sometimes, especially more in the one-on-one training experience, is you build a relationship with someone. So like when you really set it off with the client, you cross those zones of friendship. So maybe sometimes you invite them to your house for dinner or you go out to events. And sometimes that can start to impact the experience when you're training. That now that you're friends, you don't hold them to a high standard. You let them get away with things, right? Even sometimes in our coaching experience, we call personal strength training. It's 6 people with 1 coach, where it's not the same as one-on-one, where it's just you guys and there's a lot of small talk, but you definitely, especially in our program, we build a lot of close connections. But the thing that I always preach to our coaches is the title of coach precedes friendship. These people are investing us to help them get to where they want to be. So when it's in that session, the coach's hat is on, and we got to make sure, hey, we are challenging these people and having high expectations. Not, oh, that's my bro. Like, I'll just come in here and do whatever I want to do, go through the workout. It's like, no, it's like a great coach, even though they love you and they care about you and they are friends with you, they're going to let you know when you're not doing something to the right standard. They're going to call you out on sometimes your bullshit. And maybe they're not going to do it in offensive way, but they're going to do it in a way that makes you uncomfortable. And I think that's a sign of a great coach is you feel a sense of discomfort when you're around them. And I hope I can convey this in the right point is they make you want to be a better person and they make you want to perform better in the workout. And because of how much you respect them and how much you appreciate them, it's almost like you don't want to let them down. Right? So when you're not holding your end of the bargain and not working out, you feel a certain way. Those have always been my best coaches, is I know that they love and they care about me and they want what's best for me, but I feel uncomfortable around them. It's like I want to touch the line when I'm doing sprints. I want to make sure my routes are crisp when I'm catching the ball, right? And I want to make sure I'm coming prepared to the meeting because I don't want them to look at me and say, oh man, like this guy's not sharp. He's not prepared. So that healthy tension, I think a transformation coach, they bring to the table. If you feel like you can show up to a session just not prepared, give half-ass efforts, that's probably the sign that you have a trainer who that trainer also maybe doesn't care. They're just like, hey, if this person doesn't show up, whatever. I'm still getting paid no matter what, right? Another thing that I think a great coach does versus a transactional trainer is a great coach has you on a program. Okay? A transactional trainer is just giving you workouts. So is there a difference between just doing workouts and following a program? I would say so. And there's a reason why our company is called Training for Warriors. It's not called Workout for Warriors. It's not called Exercise for Warriors because exercise and working out is good for us, but it can be random. So for example, just doing a workout with the trainer means you show up one day and it's like, okay, hey, today we're doing a random circuit. I got burpees at this station. I got sprints over here. We got wall balls over here, and we got sled push. And there's no real reason behind how everything's set up. It's more just, hey, let's make you tired. Let's sweat. Training is you're working towards a goal. So the session itself, it's designed a certain way to help you get to a goal. So that coach has maybe your Monday session for you specifically has upper body push and pull because they know that, hey, part of your goal right now is you want to build muscle and you want to lower your body fat percentage. So this workout is going to be designed this way. And we're going to do this for 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. So that way you see progressive overload. You see things get better over time versus every single time you come into the session, it's just a random workout that gets you hard. So that is a big sign. If you have a coach that literally you don't know what to expect, like you're coming to the workout, you're like, oh man, which treachery is my coach going to put me through today? Which crazy chaos workout? Like that's a transactional trainer that's just focused on making you sweat, not focused on making you better and getting to want to be. It should be that it's almost predictable. Where you're like, okay, yes, I'm going in today. I know coach is going to have me do my barbell hip thrust. We talked about last week, maybe potentially getting to this. I'm ready. I'm prepared. I'm excited for that. That's following a program. Okay. So you can see there's these subtle things that separate the difference between trainer and coach. Last couple that I have here, guys. Here's a big one. Lack of punctuality and professionalism. So if your trainer is like constantly showing up 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late, like guys, they don't respect your time, or they don't think that it's an important part of their day. So a great coach is going to be on time, or even a lot of times they're going to be 5 minutes early, waiting for you and excited and prepared for you to go and have things set up for you. Right. And what I would say professionalism too is your trainer showing up, with flip-flops? They got a Red Bull in their hand because you could tell they're so tired and they're not prepared. Like that doesn't convey to you that, man, my coach is fully activated and ready to coach me today. Instead, I think a great coach is, hey, they look the part. Maybe they don't have a uniform, but they look like presentable. They're ready to coach you today. They're on time. They have, whether it's their clipboard or it's their app. And another thing that I would say is professionalism is your coach constantly on the phone during the session? Because if they're at the phone scrolling social media, they are not focusing on your form. They're not focusing on your energy levels, your attitude. They're not focused on you. So the only time that I feel like as a coach that maybe you're looking at the phone is maybe you're putting in the weights for the clients, or maybe you're changing the music or something like that might be going on in the facility. That's it. Otherwise, you are locked in, and that coach is focusing on you the entire session. All right, so those are some key points. My last point that I'm going to have is I guess I kind of repeated this, but maybe just I'll say it again, is a great coach cares about your results. And I think some of the best coaches I've been around, it's almost like they take the results and they feel like it's their own. So I put this back to my mentor, Rooney. It's, if people don't get results, you should feel like as a coach, it's my fault. Like, what did I not do in my service, in my systems, in my enthusiasm to not get this person to take action? Obviously, there's a certain amount of ownership that everybody has. Sometimes as a coach, you can do everything and someone's not ready for change. They don't execute. But the attitude is what I'm talking about. The attitude of a transformation coach is they look within, they say, damn, what could I have done for that person? Like, how come we didn't get the results? That's when you hear a lot of good coaches, hey, man, we did it, man. We lost those 15 pounds of fat. Great job. It's like they think about your results as their own because you mean so much to them. Versus a trainer just looks at you and says, well, what the hell are you doing? You're not doing anything. I'm giving you all the stuff. I'm doing my job. You're not doing your job. There's a big difference there. All right. So just recapping, guys, in today's episode, hopefully this one hits home. And hopefully it just gives you a little bit of more of a criteria when you're choosing on, hey, who's the coach, who's the team of coaches that are for you, and what are some standards that should be met. So today, hey, we said, make sure you got a coach who looks the part. They are fit themselves and they represent the health and the lifestyle that you want to have for yourself. Make sure your coach or your program, they have worked with clients that are like you. So, hey, if you're a male who's not someone who falls in love with fitness and you need that support, are there other guys that fit that? If you're an over 40 woman who has 2 kids, 3 kids, you have a busy career, are there other women like you that have gotten those results with that coach? And hey, that's probably someone who knows how to serve you. Number 3, does the coach come with energy and enthusiasm that they fill you with spirit and make you want to take action in that session? Number 4, is the coach knowledgeable? Can they explain why and how to do the things that they're asking you to do? Number 5, is there a certain level of punctuality and professionalism that you're consistently getting from this coach? Or is it just like that in like the 2-week trial that you're doing with them? Is it drastically drop off later down the road? Does your coach care about you and take, I guess, consideration not into just how life is during the session, but also just overall you as a person? And the biggest thing I think of a coach is, do they make you feel uncomfortable in a session meeting? Do they make you feel like you want to be at your best and that you don't want to let them down because you respect them so much and you know how much effort they put into you? So these are my points today, guys. Again, a great coach is going to change you, where a typical trainer, yes, they can train you. But your goal is, always going to be from where you are right now, and it's getting you to where you want to be. And I definitely believe that when you have a great coach in your life, it speeds up the process for transformation. So hopefully this one resonated for you. If you are a busy professional, a busy parent who, again, struggles with your weight gain, you got a lot of stress in your life, and you're just trying to learn, like, how do I incorporate strength training? How do I incorporate healthy habits? How can I create a more positive environment in my life? This is exactly what Training for Warriors Saga program is designed and who it helps. So if you are interested, check out trainingforwarriorsaga.com. You can see the show notes to take a link for that. And you can set up a free transformation meeting. And we'll walk you through exactly how our program works so that way you can see if it's right for you. All right? Hopefully this episode hit home for you guys. Share this with somebody. Let somebody know about the podcast. That helps us grow. And it definitely helps us bring in more guests so that we can keep growing this and keep helping save lives. I'm Coach Cory, signing out. Beasted.